big show, big show. I got Halloween episode. Talk about that. Alright. Alright, let's do this. Transformers 5. Discussion number 1. Alright, in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, this is Model Fantasy 95, and it is time for Transformers 5 discussion number 1. It is finally time to start discussing the new movies, so these Transformers 5 discussions will probably not be as close together as the Transformers 4 discussions, at least as of, the immediate future, because of course there's not much that we know about the movie yet, but of course once news starts flooding in, I will cover it just like I covered Transformers 4. So let's go ahead and discuss today's topics. So we're going to be looking at two different topics today. Of course, Michael Bay, because you can't have a start off Transformers 5 discussions without talking about Michael Bay. And also, we're going to be talking about the potential box office and the possible drops or gains of the new movie. So then the next episode, in number 2, we're going to be talking about the cast, if they're going to be returning, if they're going to be leaving, some are going to be staying, some are going to be leaving, so we're going to talk about that next time. But today, we're going to start off with Michael Bay. So Michael Bay has directed all 4 Transformers movies. Now, he did not want to come back for Transformers 4, because he wanted to make Dark of the Moon the last one, and he definitely did the job of trying to end it to the point where you could not bring it back. He killed Megatron off, and it was just a definite ending. I mean, you could definitely end the Transformers movies on that note. But Paramount Pictures said, hey, make another one, we want some money. So, of course, Bay came back, and it was, partly because of the money, but also he claims that when he went to go see the grand opening for Transformers The Ride, he saw all the fans and how they were so pumped for all this Transformers stuff, and there was a kind of a side of him where he's like, you know what, I don't really want to leave yet. I want to, make another one, and just do one more. And of course he, did that with Dark of the Moon, and I believe he even did that after Revenge of the Fallen as well. Just gotta make that one more. So, with that, Michael Bay said in an interview after the release of Transformers 4 that he would like to try some new things. Now, he did Pain and Gain between Transformers 3 and Transformers 4, and, he's been producing a lot of stuff. Ouija just came out, he produced that with Platinum Dunes. And there's a lot of stuff that he wants to explore as a director and producer. And Transformers has taken up a large portion of his directing career, and is by far what he's most well known for. But he wants to try some other things. Now, does that mean that Michael Bay is not going to be coming back for Transformers 5? I do not think so. Now, Michael Bay said, yeah, I want to try some other things, do some other movies. Well, Paramount Pictures is not going to let Michael Bay go easily. They are going to try to entice him to make more movies, make more Transformers movies for them, because Michael Bay actually has signed on to a new contract with Paramount Pictures, if I'm not mistaken. I would have to double check on that. That's just something that came to me just now. But he's been associated with Paramount Pictures for a while now, and I'm sure they would want him to come back and direct Transformers 5 just because of the past success of the Transformers movies. And then there's that piece of Michael Bay that really loves this franchise. I mean, I know a lot of people say that, oh, Michael Bay doesn't care, it's just a paycheck. Well, I hate to break it to you, but you're wrong, because Michael Bay has expressed a lot of interest and love for this franchise. Maybe he was a little iffy on it at first, heading into the first film, but he has really grown to love this Transformers franchise, and he really puts out all of his effort into these movies, whether you like it or not. So, for that reason, I do think that Michael Bay will probably get pulled back into directing Transformers 5, partly because of Paramount Pictures, and partly because he just, can't find the heart to leave the franchise that he built up. all by himself. He's directed all 4 Transformers movies, and it is rare these days for one director to take over a franchise this big and direct all of the movies. So, for all of these reasons that I'm thinking of, I do believe Transformers 6 will be Michael Bay's last Transformers film, and they will end it there, and they will end up just ending it, and then they'll end up rebooting it, and then we'll see another take on it. But until Transformers 6, I do think that Michael Bay will be staying on to direct the last 2 Transformers films. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about the box office. The differences between Transformers 3 and Transformers 4, and looking ahead at what's going to happen with Transformers 5. What was that? Anyone there? Hello? Hello? Anyone? Huh. Well. Guess that was kind of weird. Well, I guess I'll finish this up. I'll probably put a cut there, I guess. Alright, so now talking about the Transformers 5 box office. Now, critics. Are critics actually hurting the franchise? Are critics swaying people to not see new Transformers movies? And in the US, I do believe that critics are having an effect on the box office, just like they want to. They do not want these big, giant, stupid blockbusters to take over and, get all this money when they think that they don't deserve it. And they hurt Transformers 4. I hate to admit it, but they hurt Transformers 4. Now, another option is franchise fatigue. Is it franchise fatigue that is taking the drop in the box office? And I would like to automatically think no, because if you look at the Avengers franchise, they just keep cranking out. They keep cranking out more and more money, almost with each film. They keep breaking $1 billion, and there seems to be no franchise fatigue. In fact, it actually seems to be getting better as time goes by. So with Transformers, I really don't think that it's franchise fatigue unless people are getting a little bit tired of the pattern. But, I do think that the critics are the #1 cause of the drop in box office intake for Transformers 4. Transformers 4 is the only Transformers film to not break $300 million domestically. Each film has done it, even the first film, but not Transformers 4. And Transformers 4, remember, it got released in IMAX. It got released in 3D, and it still just barely cracked $250 million. Which puts it, I believe, at like 4th domestically this year. And, when Transformers Dark of the Moon came out, it was battling neck and neck with Harry Potter for a while to be the highest grossing film in the US that year. So, and then this year it got outgrossed by Guardians and the Lego Movie, and it's just, to be outgrossed by the Lego Movie, you have to wonder, what needs to happen. Critics are not going to give this a rest. Transformers 4 was by far not Revenge of the Fallen level, in my opinion, and yet critics were bashing it worse than Revenge of the Fallen. And yet Dark of the Moon got kind of like so-so ratings, just like, it was okay, or, you had the critics that were saying, oh, it's awful. But overall, the ratings were, they were mixed. With Age of Extinction, they were bad. They were very, very bad ratings from critics. They slammed this movie. Everyone enjoys making fun of it. It's a big, giant bandwagon thing more than anything. But the fact of the matter is that the critics and the people that make fun of the films are hurting the box office. And that I'm sure, are taking that as a win. The only thing that helped Transformers 4 was the Chinese international box office. And that was, of course, due to the pandering to the Chinese market, and having Hong Kong be in the last act of the film, Chinese characters, stuff like that. And that is the only thing that ended up saving Transformers 4. That is the only reason that it broke $1 billion at the box office, is because Transformers 4 is the highest grossing film in Chinese history. It has made more money than any film ever to be released in China. And in the U.S., it just did not do well. Now, you can't say it's a flop by any means, because it still made $250 million. That's still a lot of money. But going by past films, it did less than expected, I'm sure. Although I'm sure a bit of a drop was to be maybe expected due to the new cast and everything and all the changes. So maybe that is why they did the pandering to the Chinese market a little bit. But now looking ahead at Transformers 5, what's going to need to be done? In order to break $1 billion at the box office again, something needs to be done, something big. The U.S. box office, unless it was just a fluke year this year, I really doubt it's going to be, all of a sudden going right back up to Dark of the Moon numbers, or even Revenge of the Fallen, which has been the highest grossing Transformers film in the U.S. And that didn't even have 3D ticket sales. So something big needs to change in order to, bring back the U.S. market in the Transformers franchise. And unfortunately, I don't believe that pandering to the Chinese is going to help out as much as it did with Age of Extinction. So for Transformers 5, I do sense a little bit of trouble. I really don't think, unless something, like I said, major happens, that it will break $1 billion at the box office. It might fall short this time. And after Dark of the Moon and Age of Extinction set the bar for, okay, we have to break $1 billion with each movie. If the next film falls under $1 billion, that's, not the greatest thing ever. Now, Dark of the Moon sits at 7th in the total box office, worldwide all time, and Age of Extinction sits 10th. It just broke into the top 10, actually. Now, it is not going to stay there for long, especially with the Avengers 2 coming out next year. That will definitely surpass both Dark of the Moon and Age of Extinction, and that will push Age of Extinction back to 11th if another movie does not do so before that. So I really think that everything needs to be reevaluated in terms of, okay, how can we bring the U.S. audience back? How can we get them to see Transformers 5? And even though I am extremely against doing this until Transformers 6, I do believe Unicron is an option. Now, I am not a big Unicron fan, actually, to the point where Unicron is like an character in my mind. But a lot of the fan base likes Unicron. So in order to get people to at least see it, maybe not like it because, the whole bandwagon hating thing, but at least to see it, that might be an option. Another option would be to maybe get rid of Michael Bay. That is a possibility, although I do like Bay's direction with the films. Fresh eyes would be interesting, get a fresh take with the franchise, but this kind of is Michael Bay's baby now, so I'd say let him finish it out. But you have to wonder what kind of change that would make to the box office if Michael Bay's name was not attached to it, and people who vowed to never see his movies ended up seeing the movie. So that's an option as well, although personally I would not go for it. So the two options I suggested, I actually wouldn't go for it. I mean, I feel like I am okay with the movies as they are now, but there are others that don't feel it that way. The Dinobots, those were a big thing in Transformers 4, and they did not seem to end up helping the box office at all. As as I've said, Transformers 4 was the lowest of the 4 movies domestically. So what needs to be done? I don't know. What do you think needs to be done in order to get the U.S. domestic numbers back to at least Dark of the Moon level, or even in the first Transformers film? What needs to be done? Make sure to put that in the comments section below. And I guess that just about does it for this Transformers 5 discussion number 1. Like I said, in the next episode, we are going to be talking about Transformers 5's cast, the human cast. I mean, we're talking about Mark Wahlberg, Nicola Peltz, and Jack Rayner, as well as maybe even like Stanley Tucci and some of the others. Will they be returning or will they be leaving? So we're going to be talking about that next time. And happy Halloween to everyone. Hope you enjoyed this Halloween episode with the decorations behind me. So yeah, that just about does it. And